Berberine plus creatine for belly fat after 40. The information shared in this video is purely for educational purposes and should never replace professional medical advice. Please make sure to stick around until the very end. I've got an exclusive free gift for you that will take your results to the next level. Now, let's dive in. If you're over 40 and feel like your belly just keeps growing no matter what you eat or how much you move, this video is going to change how you think about that problem. Let me tell you about Sarah. She was 44, eating pretty well, walking every morning, doing everything she thought was right. But her waistline kept creeping up. She felt tired by 2 p.m. Her joints ached, and she was starting to wonder if her body was just done cooperating. Sound familiar? Here's what Sarah didn't know yet. The rules of fat loss change after 40. And 2 supplements, Berberine and creatine, were about to completely shift the game for her. Let's break this down. Before we go deeper, I want to be clear about something. This video is not medical advice. Nothing here replaces a real conversation with your doctor. What I'm doing today is walking you through the science in plain language so you can have a smarter conversation with your healthcare provider. Now let's get into it. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Belly fat after 40 is a completely different animal than it was in your 20s or 30s. And no, you're not just imagining it. Around age 40, several things start happening at the same time. Your hormones shift. For women, estrogen begins to drop. For men, testosterone levels slowly decline. These hormonal changes directly influence where your body decides to store fat. And the answer, unfortunately, is the midsection. At the same time, your muscle mass starts to decrease. This is called sarcopenia, and it begins even earlier than most people think. Less muscle means your metabolism slows down. A slower metabolism means you burn fewer calories even at rest. Add in poor sleep, which is extremely common after 40, and your stress hormones like cortisol go up. High cortisol tells your body to hold on to belly fat as a survival mechanism. It's not a character flaw, it's biology. But here's the good news. Understanding the root cause means we can actually address it. Quick tip before we move on. If you've been cutting calories and not seeing results, the problem might not be calories at all. It might be blood sugar regulation and muscle loss. That's exactly where our first supplement comes in. Let's talk about berberine. Berberine is a natural plant compound found in several herbs, including barberry and golden seal. It has been studied fairly extensively, and researchers have found some genuinely interesting results. Here's why this matters. One of the biggest drivers of belly fat after 40 is insulin resistance. When your cells stop responding properly to insulin, your blood sugar stays elevated. Your body responds by storing more of that energy as fat, especially around the abdomen. Berberine appears to work through a pathway called AMPK, which is sometimes nicknamed the metabolic master switch. When AMPK is activated, it helps your cells become more sensitive to insulin again. Some studies have shown that berberine may support modest reductions in waist circumference and body weight, particularly in people who also have elevated blood sugar. One frequently cited comparison even suggested berberine performed similarly to metformin in certain blood sugar markers. That's not a small thing. Remember, berberine is not a miracle drug. The effects are modest. But modest and consistent can add up, especially when you pair it with real lifestyle choices. Now here's something you might not expect. Berberine can cause gut discomfort, especially at higher doses or when taken on an empty stomach. Nausea, loose stools, and stomach cramping are real possibilities. Start low. Take it with food. And please talk to your doctor first, especially if you take any medications, because berberine can interact with several of them. Now let's shift to creatine, and I want you to forget everything you think you know about it from gym culture. Creatine is not just for bodybuilders. It's actually one of the most well-researched supplements in the world. And for adults over 40, it may be one of the most practical. Here's the core idea. Creatine helps your muscles produce energy more efficiently during physical activity. What that means in real life is that you can work out harder, recover faster, and build or maintain muscle more effectively. And here's the connection to belly fat. More muscle means a higher resting metabolic rate. Your body burns more calories throughout the day even when you're sitting still. Some research also suggests creatine may have benefits beyond muscle, including support for brain function and bone health. For adults over 40, those are not small bonuses. The truth is, most people over 40 who strength train are already slightly deficient in creatine simply because dietary sources are mainly meat, and many people eat less of it as they age. A standard dose of 3 to 5 grams daily is generally considered safe and well tolerated for many healthy adults. It doesn't require loading. It just requires consistency. One concern worth mentioning is kidney health. Creatine can raise a marker called creatinine in your blood work, which looks like reduced kidney function on paper. For healthy people, research suggests creatine is usually safe. But if you already have kidney issues, this is a conversation you must have with your doctor before starting. Now let's bring them together. This is where it gets really interesting. Berberine targets blood sugar regulation and insulin sensitivity. Creatine targets muscle preservation and metabolic output. When you use both alongside consistent exercise and a reasonable diet, you're addressing belly fat from two different biological angles at the same time. You're not just burning calories. You're improving the internal environment that makes fat loss either easy or nearly impossible. Sarah, by the way, started strength training twice a week, added creatine, worked with her doctor to try a low dose of berberine, and within a few months started noticing her energy improving, her waistline slowly shrinking, and her brain fog clearing. Was it one thing? No. Was it sustainable? Yes. Let's break this down into a simple daily framework you can actually use. Wake up and have a high-protein breakfast. Protein keeps blood sugar stable and supports muscle. If you're using creatine, take 3 to 5 grams with your morning meal. It's tasteless and mixes into anything. Do some form of resistance training at least twice a week. You don't need a gym. Bodyweight exercises count. If you and your doctor agree that berberine is appropriate for you, take it with meals, starting at a lower dose to assess tolerance. Prioritize sleep like it's a prescription. Seriously. Poor sleep undermines everything else. Manage stress intentionally, whether that's walking, breathing exercises, or simply protecting your time. These steps work together. That's the point. Before we wrap up, I want to come back to something important. Your body is not broken. It's just operating under a different set of rules now. The biology of being over 40 is real, but it is not a dead end. It is a set of variables you can actually influence. You don't need extreme diets. You don't need hours in the gym. You need to work with your biology instead of against it. Remember, no supplement replaces lifestyle. But the right supplements, chosen carefully and used with professional guidance, can genuinely support the process. Berberine and creatine are not magic, but they are among the more evidence-backed tools available for exactly the challenges adults over 40 face. The truth is, most people just need the right information, presented clearly, without all the noise and exaggeration. And that's exactly what this channel is here for. If you're loving this content, hit like and subscribe for weekly health and fitness breakthroughs. Check the description by clicking the More button twice on your screen to grab your free keto ebook and watch your next must-watch video, or just click it here on your screen. This will kickstart your health journey today and skyrocket your chances and your results. Don't miss out. Your support means a lot. Thank you for watching.